Just checked in at the DFW International Airport and I'm headed back to Cali for the second time in the last month and a half. I have a very tough decision whether I'm going to remain living in the state of Texas or am I going to be moving myself and my family to California. So in this video, we're going to discuss the pros of living in Texas and the pros of living in California. There's definitely some cons in California, but Texas isn't perfect either. So we're going to cover the good and the bad as I process what's best for me in regards to where my kids should be raised, where business is going to be more profitable and fruitful, and where we're just going to be overall happier. So I'm going to take you on a journey with me as I decide what's the best state for me and my family to reside in. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, my name is Richard Soto with VIP Realty, a local real estate broker right here in the state of Texas, and we recently opened up our offices throughout the state of California. So if you want to know everything there is to know about living right here in Texas, whether it's Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, or Midland, this channel is for you. We also discuss all the good and the bad about living in the great state of Texas and soon also the great state of California. We're about to catch a flight. Typically, I like to arrive at the airport a couple of hours earlier, and the main reason is I love going right here into the Amex Lounge to hang out before we catch our flight. Just landed in sunny San Diego. Guys, I flew Frontier for the first time ever. I hope you can hear me, it's very loud. I'm right here at the car rental place. But anyway, I flew on Frontier and I thought I was saving a significant amount of money. The tickets were way less than American Airlines. However, my backpack was an extra $65, $70 going and coming. In addition to that, the luggage I had to check in, I don't even remember how much it was. It was probably $100. And because I got help at the counter, it's an extra $10 as well. And there was no Wi-Fi, internet. I couldn't watch movies. I was losing my mind on the plane ride. In addition to that, the Coke that I had requested was an additional $3.50. So that's going to bring me to my next point, and that's going to be the first topic that we're going to discuss right here in sunny San Diego as I'm about to go get my rent-a-car is going to be the cost of living. And what can I tell you? You already know the cost of living in between Texas and California. You can't compare the two. You're probably going to have to be paying double if you want to live right here in California in comparison to Texas. When I was doing my research from different articles and news clippings, the cost of living in Texas is going to be well over 50% less on your day-to-day expenses and life. So if you're wanting to save money, I can assure you California is definitely not going to be the ideal location. And that's going to be one of the biggest factors when I choose what particular state that I want to live in is going to be the cost of living. If you're moving with your kids, you could also save over 60% in child expenses. Wow, that is significant. Raising a child in Texas is somewhere around $25,000, while in California it's well over $30,000. Food is another factor in the cost of living in Texas versus California. There's an 18% difference in favor of Texas. Your budget for entertainment is likewise 14% lower if you're living in Texas. So out of those stats, I came to one conclusion, and that's that my little guy, Nathan, needs to get himself a job. That $25,000 a year could go towards my Lamborghini payment. That's just the way I see it. And another thing that jumped out at me was the entertainment. While, you know, when you go out and have a drink, a margarita, it's going to be more here in California. However, there's a lot of free entertainment like the beach, mountains, the beautiful landscape, which we're going to get into it here shortly. So I decided to rent an electric car for the first time. Back in Texas, I have a gas guzzling SUV that I spend probably well over $100 to fill up. So I needed to get in line when I'm in California. It's all about being green, saving the environment, and actually we should do that back in the Lone Star State too. However, guys, when I am going down the highway, nothing beats that purr of that exhaust as I'm hitting it. And this little car is just giving me some weird noise, but it's okay. We're saving the environment. So about to check in, and the very first thing that we're going to do, and again, it's going to impact the cost of living, as we have to find some lunch. I haven't eaten all day. So we'll settle in and then head out and get some lunch. Just checked into the hotel. I didn't even unpack before I came down to Puesto, one of my favorite places to dine when I'm in California. It's known for its margaritas and street tacos, and the name translates Puesto into taco stand. However, these tacos are going to be absolutely amazing. So once I'm done, obviously I'll give you my feedback as I usually do, and then we're going to compare what these tacos would cost in Dallas versus San Diego. Okay guys, just wrapped up lunch, staying on the topic of cost of living. So I had about 6 tacos, had about 3 margaritas, and this place is somewhat comparable to Mi Cocina, Ana Mia's, Mexican Sugar back in Texas. The bill here, however, was $130. So in regards to the cost of living, it's definitely not even close on a day-to-day basis. Quick lunch, nice restaurant. I mean, service was exceptional. The margaritas were great. The guacamole was definitely better than all the places back in Texas. However, the price is literally more than double. So if we're going to compare the cost of living, Texas wins hands down. Okay, moving on to the landscape in regards to Texas versus California. And what can I tell you? It's not even going to be close nor comparable. I did a video about a year ago called I'm Leaving Texas, where there's about 1,000 comments berating me because I said the Texas landscape is very boring, the majority is very flat, the ocean is not the best by any means. However, when you reside in the state of California, wow, what can I tell you? Some of the best beaches in the world, mountains, everything you could ever want, hills. It is absolutely breathtaking in my opinion when you compare the landscapes. Yes, I'm a Texan, but I gotta keep it 100. California wins, hands down. California is breathtakingly scenic with its valleys, beaches, and mountains, all within a few hours' drive from one another. On the other hand, Texas has flat terrains and beaches that act as the Gulf's major shipping center. The Sunshine State also has strong environmental regulations like recycling and climate change awareness, potentially preserving its rich landscape. Okay, let's move on to weather in regards to Texas versus California. And this is going to be a blowout. One of the main reasons that I've been traveling and visiting California for as long as I can remember, it's because of the weather. The weather in California is absolutely amazing. It's December. Numerous surfers just came up. It is chilly. The wind is blowing. I do have a hoodie. I came in a t-shirt. It got a little bit cool this evening. However, this is as cold as it's going to get here in Southern California. It is absolutely outstanding compared to the great state of Texas that I love and hold dear to my heart. However, guys, let me tell you, July and August in Texas are absolutely brutal. The heat is unbearable. It's well over 100, and you add the humidity. Man, I catch a flight and I head to Southern California each and every time. So when we're comparing the weather, it's a landslide. California by a mile. If you're near the coast, the ocean offers a calm and cool breeze, which would have you thinking it's time to retire. It does not rain or snow from May to October unless you're near a mountain with an occasional thunderstorm. Weather in California is a far cry from Texas. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and flooding common to the Lone Star State. I forgot to mention, in the great state of Texas. There's been numerous tornadoes, hurricanes, and the worst thing is the ice during the winter. Because we don't get snow, we get ice, which is even worse. The roads wreak havoc. It's difficult to drive and very unsafe, not to mention the hailstorms. Hail does the most damage in the great state of Texas in regards to vehicles and property. So all in all, like I said, it's not even a comparison. Okay, moving on to the next topic, which is going to be real estate and housing, which obviously you have to reside somewhere. I'm here in a townhome community right here in Mission Valley in California, and these townhomes, in comparison to Texas, I can tell you this, the prices right here are just under $1 million for less than 1,500 square feet. When you compare that to the housing and real estate options in Texas, geez almighty, I can almost guarantee you a mansion, brand new construction, anywhere throughout the state of Texas. So the housing here in California is going to be about 60% more than if you reside in the state of Texas. In Texas, the median home price is only $195,000, which is lower than the national average. This means on average, homes are about $36,000 cheaper in Texas compared to the national average. This is a huge advantage for Texans. In California, the median home price explodes to around $553,000. That means Californians' homes are $321,000 more than the national average, which is like paying for 2 homes in Texas. This is perhaps the largest deal breaker when considering California over Texas. So guys, that is just huge, okay? We've covered the cost of living, which obviously is going to be much less in Texas. And the biggest expense that we typically have is going to be housing. And here in California, it's going to be outrageous when you compare it to the Lone Star State in Texas. So obviously, real estate options, housing is a big W for the state of Texas. Okay, let's move on to another very important topic, which is going to be the economy. It doesn't matter where you live, you need to be able to provide for your family and for yourself. The largest economy in the United States is right here in California. And if it were its own country, it would be the 5th largest economy in the world, which is huge. However, Texas is no slouch, I can assure you. It would be the 10th largest economy in the world. So both places are going to be great if you're looking to open up a business, if you're looking to scale your business, or if you just recently graduated college and you're looking to climb that corporate ladder. While the statistics do show that California is larger than Texas, I feel that in the very near future, Texas will definitely overtake the state of California in regards to the biggest economy in the U.S. Just my opinion, so many major companies and businesses have left California and have relocated throughout the state of Texas. So Texas' economy is definitely booming, mainly because a lot of the tax incentives that these massive corporations will be able to take advantage of. So in this particular category, I'm going to call it a tie. At the end of the day, if you're skilled and you're great at what you'll do, you'll succeed regardless of whatever state that you reside in. And California and Texas are going to be 2 of the best states that you can choose. Okay, let's move on to childcare. And what can I tell you? When I had my firstborn, Caleb Soto, I could not afford childcare. Childcare is almost like paying college tuition these days, and I feel pretty bad for young families. I recall that we could not pay for childcare, so what I strategically did was find a place that babysat by the hour. I think it was a 4-hour max that you could leave your kids there. I forget what the place was called. So I would get up, feed him, take him to the hourly daycare is what it was called, stay there until he was ready to take a nap. I'd pick him up, bring him home, put him to sleep, and then I had another 2 to 3 hours where I was able to get some work done. So childcare can definitely impact most families. And in California, it's going to run you around $12,000 a year, with some averages saying $985 per child. A family with 2 children can expect to spend $20,000 a year in childcare alone. Texas ranks as the 31st most expensive in the nation. Putting school-age children in daycare in Texas runs about $7,000 a year or $600 per month on average, with 2 children costing around $14,000. So a Texan is going to be saving around $6,000 compared to Californians. So either way, it's going to be a big expense. So this particular category in regards to childcare is going to go to Texas, mainly because it's going to be significantly cheaper. It is another beautiful, sunny, perfect day in California. What can I tell you guys? This is an absolutely beautiful state. I don't care what any of my colleagues, family, or friends in the state of Texas have to say. It is absolutely gorgeous here. But one thing though that I can't get over is how expensive it is. I have not had a breakfast this week that hasn't been at least $50 or more. This morning, for instance, I went to IHOP. Guys, IHOP. It was $50, it was $49 and some change, basically $50 for some eggs, bacon, and pancakes. I actually had 2 of those. However, I don't know what kind of special eggs and bacon that we have here in California, but when I typically take my son to IHOP in Texas, it's probably 25, 30 bucks, I guess. Nowhere near the same amount. Had some margaritas yesterday as well. While they were very good, they were $20 each. I wasn't at the club. I didn't get bottle service. It was just a decent restaurant with good margaritas. So every time I've gone out, it has been extremely, extremely expensive. And the people here, they're not trying to be frugal. They're not trying to save money. They live in California because they have fallen in love with the state. They've fallen in love with the natural beauty, the oceans, the mountains. It is just gorgeous here. And never mind the perfect climate. So if you're wanting to live in California, don't try to save money because this is not the state to do that. So that's a big factor in my decision. It's a tough choice between the two. I don't know what the best thing is for me and my family, but we're gonna figure it out here later today. Just made it home from sunny California. Guys, what can I tell you? I had an absolute blast. I enjoyed a little bit of some time off, but I also had meetings every day, met with our team of realtors, title company, mortgage professionals as well. So I got a lot of work done, which was absolutely great. I actually did some vlogs while I was there as well. So check those out once we upload them to our new YouTube channel, VIP Realty California. But let's get back to the reason I even started this vlog, and it was to choose between Texas and California. Let's start with California. Man, I had an absolute blast. It's beautiful. There's a reason I've taken my boys several times for Christmas to the Dale right there in Coronado Island, because we love the weather during the Christmas time. We love the weather year round. I love the landscape. As I've said on numerous videos that I have here on our Texas channel, the landscape, especially in North Texas, is very flat. It's very boring. I call it the concrete jungle. It is what it is, even though I get a lot of comments that disagree with me. So the landscape is absolutely beautiful in California. I love the ocean. I love the weather. However, I was born and raised in Texas, and I love Texas. Texas has been home for me my entire life. My boys were born and raised here as well. If I had to choose, so it's just going to depend on where you're at in your life. Currently, we're scaling our business here in Texas in our Houston, Austin, San Antonio offices. We're growing in every market, which has been great. However, there's a reason that we started opening up our offices throughout the state of California, and that's, quite frankly, just to be completely honest with you, I love going to California. We've been vacationing in California since my kids were newborn. I love the state of California, and I'm not gonna get into the politics, okay? One thing that we don't do on this channel is I never discuss politics, so I'm not gonna get into it. But what I will say is there's a reason so many people from California are moving to Texas, and a lot of it, yes, has to do with the cost of living, but second is probably the politics. There's a lot of things that a lot of our clients that we've assisted move here to the state of Texas tell us constantly is, cost of living. Right behind it is the politics, which I'm not going to get into. All I know is it's just going to depend on where you're at in life. Right now, it's much easier for me to, one, save a lot of money on expenditures. My home here in Texas, in LA or San Diego, would be ridiculous. It would be an outrageous mortgage payment each and every month. The cost of living, like I stated earlier in the video, every time I've gone to eat breakfast, just for two, has been at least $50 minimum, and that was the cheapest place that we had breakfast at. So California is very expensive. However, if you have the resources, funds, and wherewithal to pay for that, why not live in paradise? It makes perfect sense. So if you're living in California, it's not because you're trying to save money, it's because you want to live in paradise and enjoy the views of the ocean and the mountains and the perfect weather. For me and my family, we're better off staying in Texas for the time being. I don't know what the future holds. I can run all my meetings that we do via Zoom. We're recruiting and growing throughout the state of California. By the way, if you're a real estate agent who's exceptional, who loves to assist their clients negotiate the best possible terms, price, and conditions on their behalf, definitely give us a call or visit our career website. We are recruiting agents as we speak. So just to wrap it up, Texas is home. For the time being, I'm not moving in 2023. I don't know what the future holds. What I do know is I was coming back home. One thing that I missed very dearly, besides my boys and my cat, is my Be Elite basketball players. I have a huge organization. I have over 100 kids that I have coached and trained for the last 8-9 years. Numerous of my kids are playing college basketball. So I've grown very attached to a lot of these kids. And it would be very, very tough for me just to close shop with my basketball program and leave, even though I have dozens of high quality coaches that coach for me. That is like a big part of why I can't move anytime soon. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had an absolute blast making it. If you're thinking about moving throughout the state of Texas and now throughout the state of California, my team and I would love to assist you with your next real estate transaction. For now, I'll see you on the next video.